Normally, when it comes to takeovers, I'm normally different when it comes to NXT. Sometimes I'm the type of person that looks at NXT very differently than most NXT fans. You know, they just sit there as fans and they are always happy. They always accept what's given to them on NXT TV. So you know what? I wanted to sit down and watch an NXT just as a normal fan and see how I took it all. And I took it the way that I took it. And if there's any things that I had a bit of an issue with, I talk about. Because NXT have their issues and people just don't seem to see it. But I'm not going to complain too much. NXT was actually very, very good today. It was a very good today, and I will say, not a bad show. I will say it wasn't bad, it was very good. And it gave us what it kind of gave us what we wanted. We saw some great matches. We saw some great matches from Johnny Gargano, Tomasso Ciampa, Ricochet and the Velveteen Dream. And we also saw a pretty good tag team match, which kind of surprised me. And only 2 matches to me felt pretty lackluster, but I'll get to them. Very soon. I'm normally the type of person that looks at NXT and I'm like, oh, well, I knew this person was going to win. It's very predictable. You know? But I still think that way. I still think some of the outcomes are very predictable. But when you look at it and you see that you can't help but to realize that's pretty predictable. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people seem to really look at me in a different way, because they're like, oh, why can't you just accept NXT for what it is? Like, it's a great show, like, they give out good build, they have good storytelling. It's like I've said, yes, I understand that. I've said that many, many times. I'm like, yes, I understand that. I understand there's great storylines and great telling and epic matches along the way. I understand that wholeheartedly. I've said many times I understand that. But I can't help to realize that the outcomes are very, very obvious. You can enjoy the match as much as you want, but then you realize that there's something wrong. I wanted to see at least one title change tonight. There were a few instances where they could have had a title change, but no title change. We had no title changes tonight. So I want to talk about the first match of the night, the Undisputed Era taking on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Now, I know what some people are going to think. Adam Cole wasn't defending his title. And I know on my predictions, I ranted about how Adam Cole is not defending his title. And I still stand by what I said on my predictions video. I don't know why Adam Cole was not defending his title. If he is meant to be the mid-card champion of that brand, he should be defending his title. Now, I know some people might say, well, they had nobody for him. Which, fine. If that's the way you want it, then fine. I'll give you that. But there shouldn't be any excuse why he wasn't defending his belt. Jeff Hardy isn't defending his belt at Money in the Bank, and so I guess I'll give you guys a free pass tonight. But the one thing that pissed me off about this match is when Adam Cole got involved. Now, he only got involved once, which was around about the point where he was worried that O'Reilly and Roderick Strong were going to lose. And the referee catches him, and the referee kicks him out for blatantly saving, I believe it was Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, one of the two. He blatantly gets involved. He pulls one of his tag team partners out of the ring. The referee sees this, and the referee kicks him out of the arena. Right? And then next thing you hear the crowd, and this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. The crowd are chanting bullshit. The crowd are chanting bullshit that Adam Cole, baby, got booted out. Why are you complaining about that? He clearly did something wrong. What did somebody else pull Kyle O'Reilly out of the ring? I don't understand that. The fans were booing. The fans were not booing the Undisputed Era, which was the other thing that I can't stand. These guys are heels. Their job is to get you to hate them. This is the thing that I've been explaining so many times, but no one has got the courage to explain to me why you cheer the Undisputed. If your job as a heel is to be hated, don't you guys remember back when AJ Styles was a heel? Everybody cheered AJ Styles. And AJ Styles said on an interview that he is trying his best to get people to hate him. But no matter what he tried to do, he couldn't get people to hate him. I feel like I'm revisiting AJ Styles again with these three guys. How can the fans cheer somebody who are heels? Like, especially with Roderick Strong. How could you cheer after what he did? He turned his back on every single one of you. He turned his back on you to be a part of the Undisputed Era, but you still cheer it anyway. So in my opinion, the Undisputed Era are failing as heels. They are failing at their job as heels to get people to hate them. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're a big fan of the Undisputed Era. I don't care if you think they're the best thing in NXT. You should know that they're not doing their jobs as heels. If they can't get a single person in that crowd to boo, then you know you're doing something wrong. Roman Reigns gets booed for being shoved down our throats for 4 years straight, but apparently being a good heel, like the Undisputed Era, can't get a single peep out of a boo. You can't get a single boo if you're being a good heel. Oh, but Tomasso Ciampa is easily getting booed because he turned his back on his best friend. But it's so freaking stupid how the Undisputed can't get boos. Are you too scared to boo them? That's what I look at it. I look at it as that the fans are too scared to boo these guys. Those were my main problems about that. Those were my main problems. People were bitching about Adam Cole getting booted out of the arena. And also the fact that the fans won't boo them, which pisses me off. The Undisputed Era win in a very good tag team match. Like I said, I wanted to see titles change hands. I felt like tonight could have been a good, shocking way to start off the night if you had Oni Loken and Danny Burch win the tag team titles. Those two guys were really impressive. I actually wanted to see these two guys win because of how good they were and how determined they were. But they didn't. Hopefully NXT can find someone to push to dethrone the Undisputed Era. I honestly thought TM61 were definitely the right people to dethrone them, but no, you bloody turned them heel. Thanks Triple H. Thanks so much. Next we had Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream. This match was pretty good, but I've got one complaint about it. Like I said, I've got to complain about a couple of things. I don't want to be a little fanboy who'll accept anything. I've got one complaint. Way too many finishing moves. Because if there's one thing I have noticed, the Velveteen Dream did that Valley Death Drop a lot, which I immediately smelled. By seeing him do that a lot, it made me think, okay, this is obviously his finishing move, and considering that Ricochet kicked out of it twice, it's devaluing the move. So, and he also does a very fancy DDT, which looked pretty cool. And again, if that's supposed to be a finishing move, why is he kicking out? Why is Ricochet kicking out of something that looks so nice to look like a finishing move? And the other thing that really kind of disappointed me was how many times they were diving under the ring. I thought these types of moves were meant to be oh my god moments. You know, like everybody, a lot of people seem to complain that suicide dives aren't impressive anymore because you see them all the time. People saying suicide dives are meant to be oh my god moments. Well, we saw so many in this match. We saw so many dives from Ricochet and the Velveteen Dream. There was way too many. And in my opinion, there were way too many finishing moves in this match. And it really devalued most of their finishing moves, especially Velveteen. The Velveteen had so many good finishing moves, like that Valley Death Drop and that DDT. And one of his finishing moves didn't hit, which was the Rainmaker Elbow, which I believe is what it's called. And it really disappointed me. Ricochet got the win with the 630, which is a 450 splash, but with two somersaults. And I'm very surprised, and I'm not surprised at all with this outcome. That's the one thing I will say. I'm not surprised at this outcome. I really knew Ricochet was going to win this. I'm sorry, but this was a bit of a predictable outcome to me. If it breaks anybody's heart, that I said that word on an NXT event, too bad. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Next we had Shayna Baszler and Nikki Cross. Now this match, I was pretty disappointed with this match because I actually was enjoying this. I was enjoying this match, and the next single was over. I felt like this match could have gone on a little longer. The story here is that Shayna Baszler has never versed anyone like Nikki Cross. The fact is that Nikki Cross was so over with the crowd that the fans wanted to see her win. And, the fans were actually booing Shayna Baszler. Wow. I will actually be very honest with you. I actually thought these fans were so brain dead that they didn't know how to boo. But apparently they do here. Shayna Baszler was getting booed. They didn't want to see Shayna Baszler beat Nikki Cross. Very good. I'll give you fans that. You actually know how to boo. Very good, NXT fans. Do that with the Undisputed Era next. And then we'll be on good terms. And basically the whole match is centered around Shayna Baszler trying to get that submission that she does on Nikki Cross. But Nikki Cross tends to counter it a lot. Nikki Cross is enjoying the pain that Shayna is giving her. And Nikki Cross did her swinging neck breaker. And Shayna Baszler got her leg on the rope. And Nikki Cross was... the match ended so weirdly to me. Nikki Cross went for some kind of pin roll-up. Then Shayna got Nikki in the submission. And to me, to me that was really disappointing. That Shayna Baszler didn't... Yeah, sure, Shayna Baszler got some shots in, and sure, she got some shots in on Nikki. But to me, I felt like Nikki looked more good than Shayna did. That's just my opinion. I feel like Nikki Cross looked better than what Shayna did. Shayna was more on the defensive side. She was more on the defensive side, and Nikki was more aggressive. That's why I put out on Twitter saying that I was very impressed with Nikki Cross, because she was putting in more offense than being defensive, while Shayna was being more defensive. So, I'm very disappointed with this match. I wanted to see this match go on a little bit longer. The ending really disappointed me, because I really wanted to see more. I felt like this match could have gone on a little bit longer. But, however, Nikki Cross did not tap out, because psychos and crazy people don't tap out. Crazy characters don't tap out. They tend to enjoy pain. They're the type of people that don't tap out. So Nikki Cross smiles and then passes out to the submission, which was a sleeper hold, which I'm not sure what she calls it. Very similar to the Coquina clutch, though. Next we had Lars Sullivan and Aleister Black. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. I knew Aleister Black wasn't going to lose this, because this was his first title defense at a takeover. There would really be no reason to have him lose the title in his first title defense at a takeover. And the story here was that Aleister Black could not hit Lars with the Black Mass, which is his spinning heel kick. Seriously, I think seriously anybody can counter the Black Mass. Now, if his finishing move was a little bit more creative, then I'd say, yeah, fair enough. But considering that his finishing move is just a spinning heel kick, I don't really find that impactful. But okay, fair enough. I'm not gonna complain too much. I like Aleister. He's good. He's really good. But that was the whole story of this match. That Aleister was doing everything he could to lower Lars's defenses so he can nail him with the Black Mass. And I swear, the commentary, you know, I will give the commentary credit. Mauro Ranallo wasn't there, and Vic Joseph, who was the main commentator of 205 Live, he did a decent job. And the fact is that people were very upset that Mauro Ranallo wasn't there. The fact is, and look, I understand how good Mauro Ranallo is, but if you're just gonna be so negative about one little thing, about one commentator not being there, then I swear I would much prefer watching Monday Night Raw without any commentary. I feel like Monday Night Raw would be better if I didn't have to listen to Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Coach. I don't tend to complain about the commentary. I didn't care. I didn't care that Mauro Ranallo wasn't there. He'll be back in a few weeks. So chill out. But eventually, Aleister Black got the Black Mass on Lars. And when it hit him, he had blood on his mouth and teeth, and a bit in his tongue. And Lars Sullivan gave out a huge roar, and then Lars kicked him again with the pin. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say here. I really didn't like this match too much. It was alright, but just really wasn't a fan of this. Just really couldn't get into this match. Finally, the main event. Tomasso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. I don't know. I really don't have much to... Well, I do want to say more than just a little bit. This match was by far the most interesting match I think I've seen in a while. The fact is that they were so creative with this match, I didn't really know what to say. And on Twitter, I don't know how many people saw it. I don't know if King Schmidt saw it. But I said on Twitter, and I'm going to quote it from my Twitter feed, because I've got my Twitter feed up. And I want you guys to pay attention and listen to my mouth, so that people can understand it. I said, okay guys, if Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa feud doesn't need a championship, then I believe Sasha Banks and Bayley can do the same thing. They don't need a title match in their feud, and both of them may never be champions again on Raw, the way things are looking. So think about that for a second. A lot of people have always been wanting that Sasha Banks Bayley feud, but I'm sorry to disappoint you. With what I said here, you guys have to know I'm telling the honest truth. Because how in the bloody hell is Sasha Banks and Bayley ever going to get another title opportunity with Ronda Rousey becoming the mainstream and the main star of Monday Night Raw? How can anybody say, yeah, Sasha Banks will be champion, yeah, Bayley will be champion? The only way that you can ever get these two with a title is that if they're both on the blue brand. Get them both on the blue brand, and then you'll get yourself a championship match. The way things are looking right now on Monday Night Raw, I don't ever see Sasha and Bayley ever getting the championship. So for now, I'd say just run with it without a title. Turn Sasha Banks heel or turn Bayley heel and get yourself a good rivalry. Turn it into something like this with Tomasso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. There doesn't need to be a championship involved. I feel like Sasha and Bayley can definitely do better without a championship. They don't need a championship. They don't need a championship all the time. Did Owens and Zayn need a championship when they feuded? No, they did. But anyway, I made my point. And hopefully many people agree with me or understand where I'm coming from on that regard. You guys let me know you guys let me know about that down below. Let's talk about Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. The one detail I do appreciate here is that they made it look like they were coming dressed as they were in this street fight, which is something that I really like. If it's a street fight, you come dressed as you are, because that's what a street fight is. I mean, like, you don't need to chuck on wrestling tights. You don't need to chuck on your wrestling tights and all that other stuff. You can come dressed as you are, which is something I really appreciated here. And the fact that they were using weapons like steel chairs, chains, tables, steps. They were using a whole bunch of weapons. But if there's one thing I will say, that they kind of dragged it on a little too long. Sure, people might think it was perfect, but I felt like it was just a little too long for my liking. And I know it's the main event, and you got to make the main event, a big ending. But I felt like they could have easily done it within the easy 25 minute mark, or maybe when they just hit 30 minutes. But they kind of dragged it out a little bit too long, in my opinion. The ending scene shows Tommaso Ciampa carrying Johnny Gargano away like they were still a part of a tag team. And he starts yelling at Johnny Gargano, saying that he loved you. He was his best friend. You brought this on yourself. And then he throws Johnny Gargano onto the stage wall. Very similar to what happened last year. Takes off Gargano's ring, spits on it, and then throws it away. And he's about to finish Johnny off. Then Johnny does the white noise. Yes, it's a white noise. Sheamus has done it. Does a white noise off a bunch of boxes, or boxes, I think, which is what they were, crashing through two tables. Tommaso Ciampa gets stretchered out. Then this leads Johnny Gargano to come back, grab the stretcher, and bring Ciampa to the ring. People were getting in. There were a bunch of people trying to break it up. Johnny Gargano kept punching them in the face. Johnny Gargano's obsession with Tommaso Ciampa got the better of him tonight. He was frustrated. He was angry. He wasn't focused. he was just hell-bent on destroying Tomasso Ciampa. That's what cost him the match here. He was way too obsessed on wanting to defeat Johnny Gargano. And can they please give Tomasso Ciampa music? I know there might be people out there that like it, the fact that he comes out to no music. But geez, at least give the guy some music. Something that fits his character at least. Then, and also, Ciampa was in handcuffs, and he had him in the Gargano escape while he was trapped. He couldn't do anything. Those people came back in. Johnny Gargano beat them up again to get rid of them. The referee comes back. I guess he came from the other side because you don't see the referee come back. Johnny Gargano gets on the stage. The ring. And the ring was exposed. Half of the ring was exposed because Tomasso Ciampa cut off the rope leverages around the ring to expose it with the wood underneath. Johnny gets on the apron. Tomasso gets up, drops Johnny Gargano with a DDT on wood. And the referee hesitated to count, which I don't know why, but he hesitated. But Tomasso got on top of Gargano and pinned him 1, 2, 3, and Tomasso Ciampa wins the second encounter. Now, the one thing that I heard them say on the pre-show, and speaking of the pre-show, why can't WWE have their pre-show like the NXT pre-show? You don't need to have a match. You don't need to have a match on there. You can just easily talk about what you're gonna get. You don't need to throw matches on the pre-show. But WWE does that anyway. A few complaints on my end, but honestly, this was a good show. And can't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, I was thinking I really don't want to see a third match between these two because the pre-show, they said that this match was to settle the score. Because the pre-show panel said that this match here is to settle the score. Settle the score means last match. Winner wins and that's it. Now, I know for a fact that they're going to do a third match because I know, you know, it's kind of unfair to make the score 1-1 and end it. So they're going to probably go with a third match. And it's like I said, they don't need a championship. They don't need a championship in this feud. This feud looks like something that you could feud over the NXT championship. But Triple H has made it look like you don't need the championship for this. It's the same thing with the main roster. They can do it with Sasha Banks and Bayley. You don't need to have the title involved. You can just give out a good story and bam. Not that difficult. But anyway, as I said, good show. It was a good show. I'm not the type, I don't want to come on and complain about NXT because I know people will jump down my neck. But I have to be impartial. I don't want to show favoritism. I don't want to show favoritism to NXT because everybody likes it. I want to be impartial. I want to be fair, and I want to be not clearly one-sided. I don't want to be like, oh, NXT is the best show you ever want to watch, but then you got the main roster. The main roster sucks. It's just a shit-ass show. Just watch this brand. Just watch NXT. Don't watch the main roster. No. I'm not like that. I am fair and impartial on everything. But anyway, that's about all I need to say. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up. Comment your thoughts down below on what you thought of NXT Takeover. And I'll see you guys later on today, because I need to get my Money in the Bank preview and predictions out of the way. So I'll see you guys later on in the day for my Money in the Bank predictions video. Peace, sweet out to you.